Hello, Beez Bladers. Welcome back and welcome newcomers to the channel. Today we're going to run through 5 new USA made knives from SCHRADE, and we're going to start with this one right here. This is the SCHRADE SLYTE. Would you look at it? Just look at it. This is one of the ones from their beta class, and they have the alpha, beta, and delta class. We have a couple from the beta and then 2 or 3 from the alpha class that we're going to check out here in short order. But as you can see, really nice dark stone wash. This is stainless steel. It is a frame lock. It is a deep carry pocket clip, one-sided, right side tip up only. And as far as your pocket, you don't have a lot of room in here. If you have some thick pockets, you're going to get caught up about right there. You'll have about that much showing out of your pocket. If you have thinner pockets, it's going to be pretty deep carry. It's relatively lightweight. It only weighs about 3.5 ounces. You want to see this blade? Pow! Yeah, look at that. Modified Warncliffe. Check that out. Very nice. It's D2 blade steel. Nice looking satin finish. The blade stock's 104 thousandths of an inch. Behind the edge is 22 thousandths of an inch. So it's not the sliciest of all, but then again, it's not too shabby. You have a 3-inch blade. The overall, it's about 7.5 inches. These run around the $46, $47 range. Now, the action is pretty good. As far as your falling shut, give it one little shake and it does shut. The detent on this particular one that I was sent, not the strongest. I wish it was dialed in a little bit better. But if you give it a little bit of pressure, you are going to be good to go. Giving it the light switch, it does come flying out. I think the biggest feature for this one that really stands out to me is how extremely thin it is. It's just over half the thickness of a QSP Penguin. You all know about the Penguin, right? All these knives, if you have any questions about them, you can definitely ask them on the live streams. Every Friday night from 8:15 to, you tell me. We go for 3-4 hours, and it's Eastern Daylight Time, Eastern Standard Time. But it is very snappy. My hand, you know the size of my hand, it fits well. The one thing that really makes a point to me, or points itself out, is the inside of here is it's a little sharp. I mean, it's not bad sharp, but I can't see myself using this like as an all-day worker because I can really feel these abrupt edges right inside here and then right inside here. And as far as your access to the lock bar, you can get to the lock bar very easily. You do have to give it considerable amount of pressure, and for giving it pressure, you can see that, yeah, it's not one that I would think that if you're a fidgeter and you like to fidget your knives, you're going to be fidgeting all day long per se, because you do have to dig your thumb in there to unlock it. Lockup's about 50%. And what is, let's see, are we centered? Yeah, it is centered. So all in all, for a budget D2 steel knife with a very attractive blade, oh my goodness, love that blade. Made in the USA. It's pretty nice, pretty nice. I tell you what, let's check out the next one. Now this one is the SLYTE Compact. Exactly what we just looked at, except for this dude, it has a blade length of 2.4 inches, only weighs 2 ounces. Now this one in particular is much snappier. This one has a little better detent than the original SLYTE that I just showed you. When I push down, it comes snapping out with authority. Look at that. Same blade shape. Love that blade. And this one is more of a 3-finger knife. But your 4th finger, your pinky, does wrap around. I love it when they do this, when knife makers give me an angle back here. So my pinky, if it is a short little 3-finger knife, my pinky can wrap around and lock in. This one is much more comfortable in my hand. You can see right here, it just locks in. I could see myself using this one more just because the ergonomics are a little more comfortable. You do have the same thing going on with your pocket clip right there. Very, very slender. This one, it's about the same also with your thumb. You are going to have to push your thumb in there. But if you want a little lightweight, these only weigh like 2.1 ounces. This is definitely a winner in my book. These run around 45, 46 bucks. It's also a frame lock. And as you can see, made in the USA, baby. That's what I'm talking about. It does have some very nice jimping up here. See, I do have to dig. That's just not a preference of mine where I have to dig my finger in there. But it does have some good jimping. Very, very snappy. You can hear that snap. But I do not enjoy unlocking this particular knife. Other than that, I like it. It's just not one that I would do a lot of fidgeting with. But if you're just carrying a lightweight knife that you can't even tell is in your pocket, you're going to open up a package, do some swing, a little bit of swing, it's not going to be bad. You could close it. It's not going to be an issue. I'm just talking more of the thumb thing if you like to fidget with your knife. Now we're getting into the alpha class. This is the SCHRADE RADOK. Oh yeah, look at that. Shredded carbon fiber going on, crossbar lock, S35VN blade. Wait till you see this blade. And here's a look at that jimping. It has very aggressive jimping. Your finger's not going anywhere. It definitely locks you into place. And then you have a lanyard hole down here. And I think this might double as a glass breaker. I'll tell you something about this here in just a second. But here's this side. Here's the top. And here's this side, and check out this pocket clip. A very different pocket clip. It is strong. It does snap in and out of the pocket, and you'll have about this much showing out of your pocket when you have it down in there. So it is definitely not a deep carry. Now let's check out this blade. You ready for this? Pow! Right in the kisser. Oh yeah. Look at that. Now that is a mean looking Wardcliffe. Oh my goodness. It does have a very glossy satin finish. It's the kind of finish that it will get fingerprints quite easily. Your blade stock on this bad boy is 108 thousandths of an inch, not super thick. Behind the edge, 21 thousandths. So it is going to have a little bit of sliciness to it. Your blade length's 3.75 inches and it weighs about 4.5 ounces. Overall, you're about 8.75 inches. The ergonomics on this bad boy are really, really nice. They are extremely comfortable. It takes up my hand very well. If I have a large width hand, if you have an extra large width, you can see you have plenty of handle to go. There are no hot spots whatsoever, and that's because of this pocket clip. It's kind of up here. It tucks into your hand, and there's no sharp edges. And this crossbar lock, very easy to use, very smooth. The action on it is buttery smooth. Now, with these studs right here, they are skin gripping. You're not going to slide off of these bad boys at all. You can use just your thumb to open it. Open it up, do your cutting, put it back, and you're good to go. Now, as far as your grind, the plunge grind ends right here where it's sharpened, so you are going to get a smile when you sharpen it. That's something to take into consideration if that's something that you even care about. Now, one thing as far as the ergonomics, when I'm closing it, when I open and shut a knife, especially a crossbar lock style knife, I do seat it in the palm of my hands. So this sharp edge right here, and I wouldn't call it sharp, but it's very abrupt. Let's put it that way. It's between sharp and abrupt. When I seat that into the palm of my hand, I am feeling it. So depending on how tough your hands are, that might be a consideration, and how large your hand is. Knowing that my hand is from this side to this side is 3.5 inches, you can see how much is sticking out. That is something to consider. For me, it's very comfortable. This jimping is aggressive. This is some of the more aggressive jimping that I've come across. Your thumb is not gonna come out of it. This is good, definitely good for some utility cutting, but when you're holding it in this fashion, if you're gonna be doing some pull cuts, some, really getting in it, that is going to grind and get into your thumb. So take that into consideration. If you were wearing gloves, this would be really easy to use wearing gloves. The price point on this bad boy is around the $210, $209 mark. It is made in the USA. I really do like the ergos. I like the blade on it. I like how easy it is to engage and disengage. Very comfortable in the hand. But you know what? Tell you what, let's check out the next one and we'll come back. This is the SCHRADE Truix. Another from the Alpha class. And would you look at that? Just look at it. You have some G10 that is milled so well. I'll give you some texture vision here in just a second. And you have a crossbar lock. This looks like titanium, but it is not. This is stainless steel going on right here. You have T8s, T6s for your body screws. You do have a very nice looking pocket clip. You do have the branding going on the pocket clip. And there's not a whole lot of room inside here once again, but you do have an advantage with this particular pocket clip is that it is inset into the liner, so it doesn't stop your pocket as well. But if you have thicker jeans, this is something that can catch on your jeans, and you'll have about that much showing out of your pocket, not very bad at all. And here's a little bit of texture vision for you. Oh yeah, look at that. Texture all day long. It feels so good. I mean, I am a fan of texture, and it feels absolutely amazing. You want to see this blade? Oh yeah, look at that. Now this is definitely going to be more of a working style knife. I wouldn't call this a slicer on any stretch of the imagination. Your blade stock on this bad boy is 111 thousandths of an inch, but behind the edge, it's 31 thousandths of an inch. So it is very abrupt. Definitely not going to be a super slicer, but one that you're going to work with, really grind really grind your gears, but do some heavy duty cutting, I think it's going to work well. Not one that I would grab to cut through cardboard. It's a nice everyday carry style knife. Weighs about 4.2 ounces. Your blade is 3.1 inches. Has a nice bead blast going on, and it is S35VN. Right there you go. And then on this side, of course, there you go, made in USA. These studs on the lock bar are very grippy. Your hand doesn't slip off of them. You can use just your thumb to get the knife out. Use your thumb, put it back in your pocket. So I do like crossbar locks in that aspect where they're very easy to use, in and out. Cut what you're cutting. You don't have to use both fingers on this one. It isn't super overly strong. It's very smooth, very smooth. Here's your grind. You can see the plunge grind goes right to the sharpened edge. So again, if you sharpen your knives, you are going to put a smile up there. And you can take it or leave it however you want. If this is going to be a work knife for you, or if it's going to be a looker. One that you're not going to scratch up when, a little bit of pocket candy going on. If all you're going to do is use it just to cut a little package here and there, or open up a package, and I think it's a very nice looking knife. Now these run around $169, and I will put links to all these knives if you want to go check them out further. But it's a very comfortable knife in the hand. The ergonomics are spectacular. There are no hot spots. It is super grippy. There is no jimping along the spine, but I don't have any issues with ergos. You know the size of my hand. You can see right there. I have plenty of grippage going on. It has a relatively good detent, so when I close it, it does stay shut. It doesn't bounce out, and then I have to, re-engage the lock. It does come down. I can swing it open if I want to, but other than that, it is very smooth. It works like it's supposed to. Comfortable. I think it's a good knife. All right, let's check out the next one. Now this is a first on the channel. I haven't had a knife like this since I was a teenager, and I always called them butterfly knives. Everyone calls them balisongs now. I didn't request this knife. It was sent to the channel to check out, so I'm going to show it to you. And there are a couple things I've noticed about it, and one of them, it is buttery smooth. Don't judge. I don't know anything about flipping butterfly knives, but I am going to show it to you. It is stainless steel, bead blasted. This has a D2 blade steel. Overall, this is 9.6 inches long. Your blade stock's 125 thousandths of an inch. And look at this, very nice looking blade. If I can get a little bit of focus going on, but there you go, look at that. And this is a long dude. Now, the only thing I can tell you as far as how it operates, I can't believe how absolutely buttery. Like this action, everything of it moving, buttery is the best word. It's the best word I can use to describe it. It is so smooth. And if this is something you're into and you like these, and if that's something that's a consideration for the balisongs, is how smooth it feels, it is incredible. I don't know how to do all the flippy flops. I used to play with them when I was a teenager, but I don't know anything about that, but I can tell you that it is very comfortable. Of course, you have ergonomics that are unparalleled. You can put your hand wherever you want. I don't have experience with that. You do have a spring back here in your lock. You can lock it open, you can lock it shut, and it's very strong. It holds it very well. Let me go from one end down to the other and just show you real quick. Look at that. Made in the USA, baby. And there's your D2 right there. But if you do have experience with balisongs, please tell me what you think about balisongs. What are your opinions on them? What are things to look for? I don't even know what to look for in one other than the fact that it is absolutely smooth. It works like it's supposed to as far as I know. It is an attractive knife. It's very clean looking. I like the bead blast look of it. I do like the looks of this blade. Very, very nice. It is not double-edged. It's only sharpened on one end, but you know what? Let me get these other ones out and then we'll wrap this up. So it is very nice to have some made in the USA knives, and SCHRADE is one of those knife brands that I recognize. I don't know much about them, but I do know that this is a whole new line that they've put out, made in the USA. They have great packaging. I'm impressed. They have very, very nice packaging, and you can see made in the USA all over them. Now, these are the SLYTE. The SLYTE compact, then we have the RADOK, then the Truix, and then the Alchemist. The Alchemist, you know, like I said, I wouldn't mind playing around with this, maybe put something on the edge so so I don't hurt myself. This one, very comfortable. This would be a nice EDC style. I'm about to make a new word there. This one would be nice to have in the pocket just for everyday carry. It is thick behind the edge. I prefer slicers, which brings me to this bad boy, the RADOK. Ooh, mama, love that blade. You know me, I'm a sucker for a slicey blade, and I love a Wharncliffe style. This is a modified Wharncliffe. Do love it. It's a little heavy on the jimping. You know I like my jimping, but the jimping is a little bit stiff there. These two would be ones that are lightweight, super slim, not ones that I would fidget with, and that's just a factor if you're a knife collector. But we will definitely talk about these, all the questions you have. That's what we do on the live streams every Friday night. If you want to see size comparisons, ask more questions about them, come check us out at Live at the Hive. All right. But go check out these knives. You're really going to enjoy that video. And until I see you again in the chats or the lives or the Hive streams, remember, live life in the present, keep a Band-Aid handy, and don't cut yourself.